Pisces, you had like a massive pre-read. That was huge download that came through, but I'm going to tell you what it was. At first, I was hearing Pisces, okay, like you were pissed off or something, or maybe it was like I don't really know. Like you're seeing some. I don't know why this. It's like something pissed you off. It was kind of like golden arches. Could have been like Biggie size me or something like something grossed you out, pissed you off. I don't know what it was, but something's like had you kind of like film the love before, and then now you're like, oh, that was not a treat. You know what I mean? Like there was something about that. That was the first thing that came through. The other thing that came through was that you kind of are not in the mood for something. You might be dealing with like ophiuchus or something, but there's something about you. My cat is going crazy. She's literally opening and climbing into drawers right now. I wish you could see her. She's up to no good. So there's basically this understanding that you're not going to be protecting what doesn't belong to you. And in doing so, you're no longer the snake that's consuming its own tail anymore. Okay? It's like you've made a definitive barrier between your face and your derriere, if that makes any sense. I can just tell you that, like, as a woman, I can sympathize with that. Part of me wanted to see my birth, like, recorded, and the other part of me was like, yeah, no, there's a reason why God made my head that far away from, like, my line of sight doesn't actually naturally orient that way, right? So maybe I'm not supposed to watch it or see it or whatever. But then there's also this other extreme of really those choices being taken away from you. You know, it's like life's too short not to dance if you have a partner that's interested in dancing with you. I hope you dance. Yeah, there you go. You're no longer needing to watch your back. You are now watching your own back, on the other hand. Now it's like a kind of not, I wouldn't say hands free because you need to stay hands on. You need to stay hands on for sure. But there is this understanding that, like, whereas before, whatever you were seeing or observing seemed to be so, like, you almost felt taken aback by it, like, you know what I mean? Like, clutch my pearls. In this specific case, you're able to now see the other side of it where you're like, oh, well, then in retrospect, that was horrible. Like, there's nothing that I should take personally about it. It was a general situation. It affected more than just one person. It was a game that was played with more than just my mind or more than just my heart. It really kind of alleviates some of the taking it personally. I don't know why, but I feel like Pisces, that this is something that you're either coming to terms with or are just now realizing, like, oh, this is like a commonplace thing. You understand what I mean? Like, it's everyone gets this treatment. Everyone has to climb the rungs of this. It's like going to the gym for the first time, right? And you're like, oh, like everyone here wants to improve themselves. Okay? And then there's a day that you're like, you know what? I don't have to prove myself at all. I'm good enough the way I am, but I would like to be healthier. Same goal, different perspective, right? There it is. That's kind of what this is. It's like, oh, I don't have to take it personally that my body doesn't look exactly the way I want it to. Or like a lot of people feel that way. That's why there's so many people in a space together. You know, look, here's the penguins coming right out. And it's like my sexuality in whatever way I want to express it is mine. It's like you're having happy feet about something that previously you felt like you couldn't voice. You're now dancing it out. Okay? It's like life is way too short not to dance it out. So you're going to be like the one that's blowing the whistle. Okay? I feel like I don't know why, but all of my cards are lined up like this, and I couldn't figure out where to put this card because I didn't leave myself much space. What you're realizing is that you actually originally were wrapped up in the perfect package that someone created specifically for you from their heart space. And it's like once you realize or see that you're the origin of your own happiness, you can then guide yourself towards that more effectively. And I think maybe that was the part that was missing in translation before. It isn't about not having a voice, it's the way that it's what you do. It doesn't mean that someone with a voice is not effective at all. Let me tell you, as a mother, saying stop to your child before they hit traffic is really helpful in keeping them safe, especially when they're good at listening. Okay? That's when it's a good time to kind of like just kind of keep straight. You know what I mean? It's when you have a really talented singer, they can call people together because of their voice. People gather. They want to hear it. They crave the frequency, the vibrational frequency of that. If you've never seen August Rush, you should watch it. You should watch it. Yeah, look, this is the star being handed from one hand to the next. This is the piece of information that you've just received. And I don't know why, but it feels like through the sands of time, okay, it's almost like in Arabian Nights, you found this piece of like Durban poison ivy, right? And it's like you flip the sands of time. And it's like sifting through different timelines and dimensions and different hands at different times. And it's the alchemical understanding of what that means. You're committing to yourself now rather than committing to anything around you at any angle, at any perspective, at any time that might throw you off kilter. Okay, you're committing. You're saying this is what I'm directed towards. If you're a conductor, this is the way that you bring the entire choir into unison to begin with, by a sound that is emitted through the air, kind of like a sonar or a frequency that would hit the high note. Hello. That is the connection between us all. It's the dot to dot. Hello, hello. How are you? Great. You know, it's the conversation that we all have all day with each other, nuanced in very many different ways. You could skew that word nuance and make its detailed expressions become super imposed subliminal references. Okay? Look, this is the beloved world, the beginning of being pure genius. And that's because the cosmic universe has allowed such to prevail. Okay? This is the other side of the veil is cosmic. So when we take ourselves up above and beyond, so that like genius kind of IQ, it's like you're whatever you were looking at before, now you're queuing that. Now it's a QI, a chi. um, I don't know why this keeps just like, to me, it's like cricket smile. That's what this is, or the part that I want to recognize as the cricket smile. Turn that frown upside down. It's understanding that there is no direction in space, but you have to remain in cosmic translation, which transmits so many different things on a frequency that we get to kind of determine at that point. It is the bow and arrow. It is both the arrow and the bow, rather than having one or the other. Now you've got the reverse through the sands of time. You're no longer the snake eating its own tail. You're just weaving and dodging. Ends up making so many different things that you can really just kind of accessorize with, you know? It's like a very, if you're digging for bones, then you could locate that wherever you are. It is kind of bat signally. It is a little bit, there's something about it that's kind of spooky, but it's an action. Do you know how much breath it takes to sing? Do you know how much creativity it takes to reflect on yourself enough to be a music producer, to write music, to be a creator? A ton, a lot, a whole bunch, a big amount. Do you understand what I mean? We could have chosen a card for each one of those two, and it would have been the exact same thing being contemplated. You have to choose who's going to have the keys to your castle, but the key to your heart, yeah, no one can really take that from you. They can request it. They can ask you for it, but you see how that you can ask for it all day, but the whole city would have to agree to give it to you. And it would have to be freely and alchemical, so there's really no benefit outside of goodwill, humanity, emotional healing rather than damage. That's the key to those two locks, which is the yes and no choice. This is maybe dump out the burden basket. Yeah, it doesn't have to be so serious. Life is easy. A wise one once told me that. Pisces, this has been your reading. I'll get you one more card for mood. Like you're also like seeing pies in the skies. Stuff that is like you've only ever dreamt of seeing. There's something so lofty that I don't think you can really like bring it down to earth without sounding almost like a lunatic. So you've just got to believe what you already know to be true. Yeah. Take a moment, sit down, watch the Olympics. That's what I meant by it's a physical. How much breath does it take to be any type of athlete? To play any type of sport? If you're prolific at anything, then everybody wants to be in the audience. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to know what kind of music you write. They want to hear your beats. Aren't you glad? There's a physical, like aerial spin. It's called a triple axel. There's a double axle, obviously, and just an axle, I guess. Oh, heck. But, you gotta have one of those at least to drive a car or to be an athlete. It's the horsepower. You can't be hoarse about who you are. You can be a really quiet person and have a really big personality. Oh, there it is. This is Move It, the acts of kindness. It's like you can just like it's rapid fire, return to it's tennis. Rapid fire. It's using Agent Orange rather than you know what I'm saying? Like if we're talking competition and warfare, that would be Agent Orange used in a very obscure way on the ice. Let's just say we're reconceptualizing how to melt ice without a Zamboni, right? Or use a Zamboni on, I don't know, how to cross whatever. You understand what I'm saying? How to run over this, how to make orange juice without pulping it, just beating it to death, That's what I mean by Agent Orange versus Zamboni. It's just the fire and ice. It's learning how to take the butterfly effect and all the smaller little effects that are resulting as a result of this, swatting at moths or butterflies versus just skating by to pick a couple things through the orchard. Just swinging by, to pick up a few things from the orchard and take them home. And take them home for this activity. You see how there's orange butterflies, and now we're going to be skating towards moving it. Or we're moving towards skating. Maybe you're going ice skating. Maybe you're just going to go do some new stuff on the Agent Orange ice, right? Eat a dreamsicle and go indoor skating instead. Roller blading or something. I don't know. It's learning how to get physical in different ways. That your lung capacity needs oxygen on a regular basis, no matter if you're a singer or if you're a Olympian. A lot of people don't really understand the lung capacity of a swimmer. Obviously, that's a hard thing to do, but the actual development of that lung capacity is talk about under pressure. Yeah, it's just a good thing to know how to do. It's regulation, learning how not to, surface too quickly can cause a plethora of issues also that I don't feel like getting into. But aren't you glad that we can locate where the key is? Because if you lose the key to China, then you can't teach kids how to dig there in the sandbox. Duh. Bye, Pisces.